Hi there. Thanks so much for taking time to listen to my story. I super appreciate that, and I super appreciate you. So I'm going to make this brief as I can. In 2007, my mom got diagnosed with a disease called Lou Gehrig's disease, or better known as ALS. It's a debilitating disease with the trajectory as death, because there's no cure and there's no medicines to prolong the disease process. So when my mom was diagnosed, we went from doctor to doctor to doctor trying to get help. Of course, there was none. And it boiled down to my mom needed to be put on hospice care, palatable care. And the doctor came to our door. And of course, I was not very excited to see him, because I knew that he was determining if my mom had 6 months or less to live to be able to put on hospice. And he came in and he said, the trajectory of your mom's life isn't that great. But what I want to tell you is that your mom is not dying from Lou Gehrig's disease. She is being systematically poisoned and has a multifaceted autoimmune disease. And he says, my fear for you, and this was a turning point for me, he says, my fear for you is that you've been exposed to the same toxins that are killing your mom. And so your mom's life expectancy is probably short unless God intervenes. But for you and your family, you need to find out and rid yourself of the toxins that are causing this disease for your mom, so that you don't have the same story. So that was the beginning of our journey into toxic-free living. And a few years later, I ran into and met a friend who uses YoungLiving and toxic-free cleaners to clean her home instead of chemicals and essential oils. And so she introduced me to the company. I fell in love. I had rid my whole family of our toxins that were in our home, our body lotions, our toothpaste, our hair products, what I was cleaning my house with. Women alone are exposed to more than 80,000 chemicals a day that cause cancer and other diseases. And that really stood out to me, that our family, as large as it is at high risk for having some of the same symptoms or the same diseases that my mom was exposed to over her lifetime. So that began my journey with YoungLiving. I began to use their products. I noticed that we were healthier. We were not getting sick. I didn't have to run to the doctor. We stayed above the wellness line all the time. And what I mean by that is normal things that regular families catch, colds, strep throat, those types of things, my family wasn't getting. And I wasn't having to go to the doctor to get medicines or antibiotics. The only time I was running to the doctor is when, my kid fell and broke his arm or something like that. And so we have been living this lifestyle for about 8 years now. And our health has dramatically improved. Our wellness level has dramatically improved. And we are virtually a toxic-free, chemical-free home, which means that we are exposed to less, because we're going to get stuff in our environment, but we're exposed to less in our home, and that protects our family from disease, which is great. So I fell in love with the product so much, I began to share it with people. It was so simple to tell my best friend, my neighbor, hey, this is what I'm doing. Let me show you what this looks like so you too can live this life. And I actually started an accidental business. I didn't know that I was starting a business. I just shared the product, and suddenly I started getting checks from YoungLiving. And so I thought, well, that's easy. This is something I'm passionate about. I love healthy skincare. I love chemical-free hair products that work. And I want to be able to afford this lifestyle for my family. So I'm going to continue to share the product so that I can live the way that I want to at home and produce a safe environment and a healthy environment for my kids and my family and everyone who visits. So that's how I got started with this company. And I am super happy that you took the time to listen to my story, and I hope that it inspires you to ask questions and to learn more. So thanks so much.